Welcome back, everybody. We are officially back at the It Was Never a Phase podcast. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon. I got my amazing friend Jazz here with me. The half of this podcast, you guys already know the deal, man. It's both of us together. This ain't my podcast. It's our podcast. It was never a phase. It was never a phase. Episode 2. And here we are.
Yep.
What's the deal, Jazz? How's it going?
It's going good. Sipping on this little Truly Unruly that my buddy Daniel here got for us. It's an 8%er, and this little thing is strong, Daniel.
Oh.
Very strong. I already feel it. I feel like I'm buzzy.
I know. Brand new. I'd never seen these before. It was literally right now that we went, because obviously she got here and we were setting up for the podcast, and I was like, last time we drank a little bit, so I was like, we kind of gotta keep it going, you know what I mean? Gotta keep the direction going, because obviously we can have conversations without drinking, but the conversations always go so much better when everyone's drinking. I don't know. I just feel like it's always like that. It's always like that. Not just with you. I'm just saying in general. Like, it feels like it just whenever you drink, you get open up a little more. You start talking a lot more. And so I was like, you know what? Let's go pick up a pack. And thankfully, she drove us over there. She was like, oh, we can go in my car real quick. I was like, all right, cool. Let's go. We got there. I went in. I was literally just going to get some regular Trulies, because I like Trulies. I don't like feeling hella bloated when I drink, especially, I don't know. I don't know if it's like the older I'm getting or whatever, but I'm definitely not so much into like Modelo and stuff like that. I just feel like it gets me so full. Yes. Like it's just a disgusting feeling. Like, I hate feeling grossed out. And then especially because obviously when I drink, then I get hungry and I want to eat. Mm-hmm. And then it's like you do that double, like you're drinking this heavy beer and then you also eat on top of it. Oh, it just feels so disgusting. So Truly is where it's at. I've always drank Trulies. And like I said, I go in there. I'm just looking for a regular Truly, and boom, I'm faced with it. Let me just show y'all real quick. Let me just show y'all real quick. This was the pack. This is what I saw, and I ain't never seen this box before, and all I see is Truly Unruly. So, this is the Unruly pod today. We're going to be very unruly.
Off the rails here.
Off the rails. You already know. We unruly out here. So, I just seen it right away. I was just like, dude. And then I saw that it was 8%. That's the thing that scared me, though. Yeah. And right away, before we opened it up, I was like, I think they're going to taste strong, though. Because that's always, White Claw has the Surge. Yeah. I remember I brought those to your house, too. Like, I brought just, like, tall cans of it. Mm-hmm. But that Surge, it's, I think, the same. I think it's 8% or something. Yeah. And, dude, that one has, like, a nasty aftertaste.
Dude, like, I don't know if anybody remembers Lime-A-Ritas, that, like, Bud Light margarita drink. Man, those used to tear me up when I was younger. Like, I would get so drunk off those and so sick because they're 8%. This tastes the exact same. I feel like Truly bought them out or something and put it in a Truly can.
You know what they probably did? Because it's probably not owned by anybody. It's probably just the mix or the liquor that they use in it. Because it's like they just have the malt liquor or whatever you were talking about. Yeah. It's probably just like a certain cheap malt liquor that they can get in abundance for really cheap. And then obviously the thing that Bud Light is bringing to the table is their flavoring and stuff. Like they're buying the flavoring or making their own flavoring. And I feel same thing with Truly. It's like the liquor part of it, they're able to all get it.
Yeah.
So they kind of like, it's probably that same exact thing that was in Lime-A-Ritas that they put in this, but just tried to make it more cleaner. Like, so it's not no sugar or whatever. Like,
I feel like the more you sip it, the better it tastes. Because at first...
Oh, but these ones are even more. These ones are more than the regular Truly. 180 calories a can. I think like the regular Trulies are only like 80 calories a can or like something like that.
It's probably all the sweetener or whatever, because it's juice from concentrate.
Yeah,
so
and
it's probably all the sugar.
And this one says that it has 4 grams of sugar. I think the Trulies only have 1 gram per can. Oh, so these ones ain't even that as...
See, this is the stuff you start paying attention to.
When you get older, the older you get. It's so crazy. Like,
and I know myself. Like, I can throw back like a whole 12-pack of beer. And so, like, last night, I got a 24-pack of Coors, split it with my little brother, and I mean, we threw that back. And I have to like now start looking at, just like he said earlier, like, is it gonna make me feel bloated? Like, I can't do the Mexican beers anymore, really, because it makes me feel bloated. And I'm only 31. I just turned 31. But I swear, after I turned 30, just like they say, everything hits you like a fucking train. I feel like my bones hurting, my body hurting, and I thought it was a lie. Because, like, people, I feel like used to tell me I looked younger all the time. I never got carded. I mean, I always got carded. Even buying lottery tickets. Once I turned 30, I swear to you, nobody cards me anymore. It's like a switch fucking flipped in me, and now I just look old as hell, and I'm like, fuck.
It's that reality, huh? Just like, damn. It's those moments, like you're saying, when you stop getting carded and shit, you're just like, damn, dude, am I really that old now? Or like, do I look that old? Am I really an old person now? But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, the whole Mexican beer thing, like you're saying, is just, I stopped a long time ago. I just feel like I can't. The only ones, and I don't even think it's considered Mexican beers, like Michelob. That's like really the only beer, but it's the same. It's for the same reason, because it's like considered like a really light beer. Yeah. Like it's supposed to not bloat you up. But I feel like even with the with just the carbonation of it, because like Truly's have carbonation, but not as crazy as beer. Beer has like so much more of the carbonation than I guess just the yeast and whatever in it, because it's like, you know, bread fills you up, and it's like the same thing that makes bread. It's like it's just I've been so over like the only time I love Mexican beer, of course, is with like a michelada. If I'm gonna make a michelada, because you can't make no michelada with a Truly, you know, you could try, but it definitely ain't gonna taste the same. It's something about those. It's that the bitterness that counteracts with the tomato juice or the clam juice, whatever, and like it's just so good. But yeah, man, we're here trying out these Trulies. We wanted to do a little taste test for you guys. I have the Citrus Crush. And I mean, the flavor's on point, but it's the aftertaste. The flavors, Truly's always been very good with flavors, at least I feel like. Yeah. Out of all of them, I've always liked Truly the most, because I feel like their flavors are hella on point. But, dude, definitely the aftertaste is a little...
Yeah, it has that sharpness to it for sure.
It's like you said, it's literally just like the limerita or the strawberry or whatever, like all those little things. I could just, and then what trips me out the most is I start to think about, dude, I used to drink Four Locos, or like I used to drink Four Loko and Mad Dog. It's like, if I think this is gross, I can't even imagine trying to take a sip of a Four Loko now. Like I'd probably puke off the initial taste.
I've never had a Mad Dog.
Never.
Yo.
One of these podcasts we're gonna do.
We do Edward 40 Hands.
No, we're not doing that with no Mad Dogs. That's crazy. But what we can do is like one like the Mad Dog for the episode. Like you have to drink the whole thing throughout the episode, and we see how we feel at the end of the episode. Because dude, those Mad Dogs are pretty gnarly too. And
scares me.
And but of course it was just one of those young things, like the youngster thing. Those things are so cheap though. They're literally like dirt cheap. So it's like. I think before, who knows, I haven't bought one in so long, but when I was in, and it's funny saying this, but when I was in high school and I was buying them, they were like two for like $3 or like two for $4 or something ridiculously cheap, like dirt cheap, like nasty cheap.
I remember like being 18, 19, and like me and my friends would go to like the bars in Austin, the gay bars in Austin, because they had like 18 and up. And, of course, we couldn't drink in the bar, and we're not condoning underage drinking, but, you know, everybody kind of does it. But, yeah, so we'd get, like, 2 Four Locos, and we would slam 2 of them.
Before going
into the club, and that would just ride out the fucking...
Throughout the night, basically. Yeah. You wouldn't even come down until the time you're basically leaving, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't even think, like, I think if I had a Four Loko right now, shoot, it'd probably be on my ass.
You'd like black out or something. That's what I'd be thinking about. I'm like, dude, there's no way.
Have you had Buzz Balls?
I haven't, but I'm scared to do it. I'm like kind of scared to drink Buzz Balls. I don't know. I'm just because I didn't know that it was wine. It's not a mixed drink. It's a wine. It's a wine cocktail. Really? I read them. Because they sell.
I think there's 2 different versions. One's a liquor and one's a wine.
Nah, I don't think so. I think they're all there. It's just I think that they're just flavored as cocktails, but when you read the thing, because I see them all the time when I'm at work. I'm in like gas stations and stuff all the time. So my racetrack, like I do a lot of racetracks and 7-Elevens, and they both of those places sell them like a lot.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I get curious, so I'm just like, let me like, what's the buzz about?
Yeah.
What's the buzz about these buzz balls?
balls.
Everybody's so crazy about them. Everybody's so crazy about buzz balls, and people say like that they're so strong and they're so good. And then I even trip out like, see, I've never drinking one before, and I never even seen where you could probably only get them at like an actual liquor store. But I've even seen people with the big ass ones. I've seen it's like a whole bottle, like it's a whole
Yeah.
like if you were to grab like a handle or something, you know, it's like a big ass. It's called a biggie ball or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
it's like it's massive.
Hey, we need another episode, okay? Where we do a biggie
the
ball.
buzz,
The big buzz
one
ball.
one biggie ball each
One biggie ball each.
throughout the whole
No,
episode.
but
that
those are gnarly, man. I had one time I was home alone and I bought the ones from the. I didn't get it from the liquor store. I got it just from the regular store. But I wish we had Brennan here to like fact check stuff for us because I'm almost 100% sure there's two different versions. There's the wine one and then that they sell in the grocery stores, and then there's the liquor one that you can get at the liquor store.
So okay. So, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
No, because you know what it is? I think at the gas station they can't sell hard liquor,
Yeah.
but they could sell wine.
Yes.
They sell hella wine bottles and stuff. They just have like a whole section for
Those
wine.
Fireballs
So
at the gas stations. Have you seen those?
the fireball, like the little ones, right?
They're like the wine too. They're like wine.
What?
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude.
you I think you just blew my mind right now. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right then,
crazy.
because now that is actually clicking in my head that the gas stations, they can't sell hard liquor. They
Not in
can't.
Texas.
But see, and now what you're saying, because I thought that they could, because they have but my racetracks, they sell like the small things of Fireball and then like coconut, like
Those are wine. They
see
sell them at HEB.
what?
Yes.
I'm so mind blown right now. It's like, yeah, they're the little like just the dollar shots.
Yeah.
But then they have like other shit too though. That's
Yeah.
they have like other different
That's how they
versions
get around
of
stuff. Like
that's so crazy. Okay, now that we bring this up, I have to bring this up and I need to know your thought on it. What about, cuz over there I work in Carrollton.
yeah.
I feel like the closer you get to Dallas, the more you see of it. What is up with? Because they didn't do this shit in Cali. What is up with the gas stations having slot machines inside? Or like, don't they even have them right here? Right? Or am I
Yeah.
tripping?
I think it's because we're close to Oklahoma.
But from what I heard is that like it's not completely legal.
No.
Or like, but see, that's what's crazy. And so what I heard is that it's legal if it's for entertainment purposes only. That they're not supposed to be paying you out.
Nope.
But some of the places
Yeah,
do pay you
they
out.
do.
Like, yeah.
The one right here by our house. That's the one you were just
Does it
talking
pay you
about.
out?
I think so. I always see people in there gambling.
We ain't gonna say where we're at.
Yeah,
we're not talking.
We're not gonna blow them up.
We're not blowing them. We're not gonna blow their cover. But damn, I didn't
That's
know.
probably the better way to say it.
Blow their cover.
I said blow them up. We're blowing. Wait, fuck. Oh, just rewind. We're not blowing anyone up.
Yeah.
Okay. That one took a turn. My bad. But yeah, no, because like I love to gamble.
Yes, I do.
I love to gamble. Me and my parents probably go gambling. Shoot, like every weekend almost. We go to Shakhtar to WinStar, and man, and tomorrow too. Like my whole family's coming in, and we're all gonna go to the casino. Like that's just a thing we like to do. Like we don't ever win money, but
It's just like a vibe for you guys. It's definitely just like, and it's like you guys probably have done it so much that now it's just like kind of like a ritual thing or like a,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, like let's just go. It's just how anybody has their certain thing that they like to go do. You know what I mean? It's
some people like video games. I like putting
you,
$300 in a slot
yeah,
machine.
you like putting money in slot machines and but yeah. So, what is it like? What is it about that? Like why? And so then if you're saying since we're close to Oklahoma, but how come like over there, like even more down south, they're doing it? Like
In Austin,
they're
don't
not
have
allowed
that.
to do that at all.
Well, I don't know if they're allowed to or not because I haven't looked into it, but like
They just don't.
they don't have them. At least that I've seen.
Yeah.
So to me, I just chalked it up to it was close to Oklahoma because like even I think mid Dallas is like only an hour or so away from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just everybody over here always travels over there and they want to get their little itch out.
Yeah.
And they can go to these little gas stations and get paid under the table.
But see, and then what's hella crazy to me is how they like all of them, even the places that I know pay out, because like I say, I work in these places or like I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
And I've heard from the customers or like, you know what I mean? Like there's this one guy. So obviously, I don't know. I'm not, even with my streaming, I try not to mention like, like where I work
Yeah.
or whatever. But with my job, I'm in gas stations and a lot of like stores all day long.
Yeah.
And my stores are fairly in like the same vicinity. It's like, say if I worked around here, like I would be doing like the racetrack, or not. We don't have a racetrack right here. I would be doing like the Quick Trip, the Loves. I do like a lot of gas stations and then like small little convenience stores. So it's like I'd be doing like all the stores right here on this strip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that. That's kind of how they do it. They give you a lot of stores that are in close vicinity to each other. And so I see this one guy that, dude, I don't think. Well, I don't know if he's retired or what, because he's an older black guy. He has gray hair, like gray curly hair, but he doesn't work. He's just like always just he kicks it at like these places. Like he comes, because then he comes. I go to so I start work at like 5 a.m. And so I'm at like my first store by like 5:36 in the morning. And this dude will already be there getting the coffee, and then he's just he knows like all the store owners. That's what I'm saying, because he lives around there, and he just goes and he does those little machines all the time. He's always on those machines, and I was talking to him about it because I wanted to know. I was always so like wondered what the deal was with that, because like a lot of my stores have those things. Even like the smallest little gas station, they'll at least have two of those things crammed in there somewhere. You know what I mean? And so I asked him, I was like, hey, do you win off these things? And then he's the one that told me that like some of these places won't cash you out. They don't cash you out because it's supposed to all be for entertainment purposes. But he's like, he's like, there's the ones though that will. And he's like, those are the ones that you want to go play. But what blows my mind is that there's people willing to play and know that they're not going to win anything.
Yeah.
At the same time, I tried to think of it as like, well, you kind of do the same thing when you go to an arcade. It's like you go to an arcade and you're putting money into a game that you're just playing for the fun. You're not playing it to get anything back.
Yeah.
So I tried to think of it in that mentality, but then at the same time, I'm like, bro, why are you putting money into something that you're not going to win nothing if you can just go to like WinStar or something, and actually, who knows, if you win, you're going to get money out of it. You know what I mean? It's like
crazy. Or unless they do get paid, they just don't want to say
They don't want to say anything. They're just
Yeah.
trying to keep it on the low.
I just popped open this Berry Blast one. Wow. Steps better than the strawberry.
Good?
So good.
Okay. I have to say something. This one's the strawberry one.
Yeah.
This one tastes horrible compared to that one. So maybe that's why you were off to a bad start.
This is so good though. Like
That
it
one's
doesn't have
good?
That taste.
Berry
that
Blast?
tastes like it tastes like you
Art-
melted a margarita. You melted it.
Hella artificial.
Yeah. But man, this berry one, man, I could drink about 6 of those. Probably wake up with a headache tomorrow, but the face you're making just like solidifies.
Yeah, this strawberry one, and you guys didn't see because luckily the camera was on her, but I spilled on myself a little bit when I was sipping this one. But citrus crushed, absolutely crushed, dude. It's done.
Strawberry smash.
Absolutely smashed. Let's go. Okay.
The saddest smash ever.
Soft little boop. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this one, but now that you said that, well, we have one more to try anyway. We actually have another Tropic Thunder. Is that what it's gonna say? If it does,
Tropic Thunder.
If it says that, it says Tropic something. Tropical Twist. I was gonna say Tropic Thunder. We gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. Okay, I have to try this berry twist. Okay, I'm gonna try this on here for y'all real quick, just real fast. I want to try it because Jazz got me excited now.
Yeah.
If she knows that one tasted like ass and she likes this one, sniff test.
Let's see how our palates are different.
This one smells like the regular Trulies.
Yeah.
So this smells good already off the bat. Off rip. All right, cheers everybody. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, Jazz, to episode 2. We in here. We doing our thing.
Here doing our thing.
Oh yeah.
Way better, huh?
They were able to hide the aftertaste. Whatever. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's even like my favorite flavor with just the regular ones is like the berry. So they know what they're doing with that for sure.
I think artificial strawberry.
It's just always
just
bad.
nasty,
It is. You're not lying. It's always bad. It's always bad. It's definitely
Berries
always
are so
bad.
clean that I feel like you can do a lot with berries, you know?
Yeah. And the
have you already had this one? Which one did you have? You had the orange one, right?
yeah, that's the citrus one.
Yeah, this is a citrus one.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Citrus Crush.
Okay.
Oh, what about the tropical? Didn't I give you the tropical, or didn't I pass it to you?
Oh, this is tropical.
Okay, so that's different.
Yeah, so I haven't had the citrus. Well, you know what? Let me pop this bad boy open real quick. We'll just get these out of the way. I'll just taste this one.
Citrus is right there, so you can have the citrus.
So this is a tropical twist. You haven't tried this one either?
I haven't.
It smells tropical.
Well, let's see. What do you think? Oh, the face says it all.
So, okay. You know how the aftertaste of the strawberry is? This one has the same aftertaste of the pineapple and the orange, but not as heavy. So there's an aftertaste, but it's not as bad. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, or like a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
And what do you give the berry?
Oh, like a 10.
Okay,
I
berries
like
on a
berry.
10. Yeah, see, and then this is the thing though, where it just makes you hate like the packs. You're just like, man, make me a 12-pack of the berry.
Right.
Like I'd get a 12-pack of the berry all day.
It's like the watermelon White Claw. Like, I used to
You love that one?
the watermelon White Claw, but White Claws lately they give me an aftertaste, like not the drink itself, but I feel like after I drink them for a while, my mouth just tastes a certain way, and I don't like it.
Honestly, White Claw, I love White Claw in a certain like situation when I'm really like not trying to taste anything.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what they did was really nail seltzer water. These people are like trying to make it like juice or like seltzer juice. But White Claw really perfected if you already liked drinking like bubble water. If you you don't know Andrew Tate?
Yeah. Oh no.
That was like a big thing. He always used to say.
Well, I know Andrew Tate. I just don't watch him.
It was just like a big thing. Like the he always be like bubble water because he had his little accent or whatever. But no, because he would be like his whole thing was like he'd be like if you drink still, you're a pussy. That's what he says. If you drink still water, he's like, what are you, afraid of a little bubbles? That's literally how he would say it to you, afraid of a little bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so uncultured. Like when it comes to like, is still just regular water?
Still is
Okay.
Well, still is just no bubbles. Like still,
okay.
yeah, because it still could be any kind of water though. It doesn't have to be like tap water or whatever. It could be any water that's just no bubbles. Like if it has carbonation, that's the opposite of still. Still, I think it's more of just like because the water stays still. Like I think that's why. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this, but I'm just saying I think that's why.
Sense,
yeah, that's what makes sense in my head is that I think they call it still because there's no bubbles that don't move. But when you get like if you see a cup of sparkling water or like carbonated water, it's like soda. It's always like the bubbles are always moving in it. Like it's constantly like just always so it's either
bubbling.
Yeah, like when you go to a fancy place, they'll ask you like they'll just be when you ask for water, they'll be like sparkling or still. It's always like that's how they say it. It's like sparkling or like still. And of course that's what he calls it because he's just only eats at fancy places probably or whatever. So, yeah, he's like, and then but that shit was just so funny to me because like I don't like the dude, but I would just like always see his stuff all over like Instagram and stuff, and I just thought that was always so funny. Like he'd just be like, "What are you afraid of some bubbles?"
Dude, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, how's everything going, man? You know, I mean, we gotten into the drinks and everything, but now we got to get into
our hearts,
each other. Now that we're one deep. Now that we're one deep, I'm like 1.5 deep, I think.
Yeah,
so
I'm like
now it's time to get into it, man. I mean, since we recorded the first episode, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks. 2, I would say.
Yeah, because we had some kinks to work out with the. I don't know if it's been 3. It's probably like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, right? Okay, but it was of course. Hey. All respect to Jazz, and I've already been told her I give her like so much respect just because see that's what's the cool part and how we even talked about in the first episode that it's almost like we were meant to come together because she's super good at like she is so knowledgeable on like doing computer stuff and editing and all this stuff. I've never once edited a video in my life because I'm a live streamer. I only live stream. Never, and I've told her this before. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not going to hide from the fact that to me, it's a lazy thing. It's a laziness thing that I always wanted to just live stream because I didn't want to have to take the time to record something sit there and edit stuff out and like mess with it and then upload it. Dude, streaming at a click of a button, you're already on, and then the computer does the rest for you. All you have to do, all you have to know, and see, this is where I feel like our stuff came together, because I know how to set all this stuff up. I know how to set up like the cameras and the mics and everything for the streaming software. But luckily with the streaming software, you're able to record. So that's how we're doing this right now. It's like I have everything going through my streaming software, but we're recording it instead of live streaming it. But the whole, like, I'm just so glad that you know all that other stuff, because like I said, I don't know, I never even dabbled, because I just feel like at least at the time when I started live streaming, I felt like my life was just so hectic that I was like, dude, I don't have the 2 extra hours a day to sit there and like be editing a video or like blah blah. So I was like, those 2 hours that I would take doing the video is the time that I have to stream. It's like, because I really do, I only stream 2 hours a day. Like that's literally like my perfect time frame is what I'm able to do. So all that leaves me is to be able to come home like from work, shower real quick, come in the room, get my camera and everything set up, and then boom, just press live, and that's it. And I let the computer do the rest, and it's just like I'm able to just do my thing. And then even the fact that I love the fact that like YouTube saves it all. YouTube has, like, I can literally go back and watch my very first live stream. It's still on my YouTube page. Like, so that's where, to me, I'm like, the fact that, and I don't even have to keep none of that on my computer. Yeah. That's the other thing too. Cause it's like, dude, I just checked the other day. I almost am at 1,000 videos, like 1,000 streams on my thing. So it's like, I'm just so glad to have you. And like I was saying earlier, shout out to Jazz, dude, because she did it all with our first podcast, especially with all how she said we had to work out some kinks, dude. The first way around, first of all, I didn't record it in MP4, so it was in a whole different random ass like program, or I don't even know what kind of file format.
I think FLV or something like that.
FLV format.
We fucking he's using my mic and this is his mic, because my mic has an arm, and it was just easier for me to use his. But like, my mic was so far away, that's why I'm holding it now. And his that he's using mine, I forgot to tell him that like the setting it's on, a certain part has to be facing his face. So the only time you could really hear him clearly is when he was switching our camera views, because that's when he was facing the right part of the mic. So, I mean, it was fun. I like doing that stuff. And I want to give you props too, because I told him earlier, I felt bad because I was just sitting here watching him have to set up and connect everything. And like, he, thankfully from the first one, he like got it down, and like he knows what to do, and he's just so good with that stuff. And yeah, we just compliment each other in that way. Like, I can do the other stuff, and eventually I think like maybe once we get going more, we can maybe have like a live stream one time or a couple times.
For sure. No, girl, I'm gonna get you to live stream. I'm telling you the whole, like, I just love the dynamic of the live streaming. Yeah. It's so like I've told you before, to me, what I really love about it is just the immediate interaction. Like I always thought about that even before I was like live streaming, is like you post a video, and then you have to wait like a day or two to even get reactions out of it. Like then you can go and read your comments and everything. Live streaming is like everything's instant. It's like it's such a whole different experience and a whole different connection that you get with your audience, because it's like you're literally there with them. Like they're talking to you in real time. Like they love reacting to the things that you're doing in real time. Like it's so, that's the other thing too, is like it's so exciting for them. Like they love it just as much as like I love it. You know what I mean? It's like I love to hop on and like see like these full, dude, the thing that just like really gets to me is like seeing the fools that come through every day. Like I'm at that point now where when I first started, I had like 1 or 2, 3 people. Like I'm at the point now where I got at least 5 to 10 people that come through every single day, and they're there all the time, no matter what. Even if they're pulling up like 30 minutes before the stream ends, like that just always shows me the fact that this, like, yeah. And I always tell them too, I'm like, dude, everybody has their own life to live. Everybody got stuff going on. Because sometimes they come through and they're like, I'm sorry I couldn't come yesterday, or I'm sorry I wasn't there. And I'm just like, dude, don't ever be sorry for not coming through to my streams, because I don't expect you to even be here. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know that you have other things to do. I know you have your life to live. Because trust me, when I got things going on, I don't stream. Like, if I can't stream, then I don't stream. Like, I try to be on the grind and stream every single day, because I feel like, especially these days, that's honestly really one of the only ways to make it. I feel like is by being consistent and always showing your face, no matter what, like over and over and over, because of the attention span these days.
Yeah, and props to you for that, because I after work, I have a very computer heavy job, so like I literally sit down all day. I'll try and go for I'm trying to get back into running to slim down a little bit before summer. So now I'll after work go for a run. And thankfully my job is pretty lenient. So I could even do that during the day, or do what I need to. But after being in front of the computer all day, I want to live stream or try to do what you do, even on a different scale, even if it's just on TikTok.
Yeah.
But post videos and post content, but it's so hard for me to get the motivation, because I just feel so drained from being in front of the computer so much. But props to you, because you get up so early. I'm sure you're just tired, and you still find the will to do that. And eventually I hope to get to that point here soon, but I'm really trying to push for that. So I just want to just throw some props to you for that, because you do it every day. I see your little, your Instagrams, oh, live in 10 minutes. I'm like, damn, that dude's really doing it. He's out here.
Hey, well, thank you. I mean, I appreciate that a lot, to be honest, because, I don't know. It's just, it's nice to hear it from somebody else sometimes, because I don't know. It's yeah, I have the people that are in my streams and everything, but I feel like it's nice to hear it from somebody outside of that. From somebody who's not into the gaming and live streaming type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's it definitely feels good, because I definitely do sacrifice a lot. I feel like to some people it might not seem like a lot, but like you're saying, it's dude, I get home from work sometimes and I don't want to do a damn thing.
Yeah.
But what it is, and I tell these fools all the time, any of you that are watching right now that are part of my streams, man, I tell you guys every single day that it all happens because of you guys. And that's literally what makes me come back, is literally the fact that, because there's times where I'm about to stream and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna regret this. I swear, I sometimes think that I'm gonna regret this. I really just want to kick it. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm so tired from work. But then I hop on, and dude, I'll have 12 people, 15 people in there, and then all of a sudden my mind just flips to a whole, because I'm just dude, these fools are really coming for me. They're coming to the streams to hang out with me and to kick it with me, and not only just me, because they love the environment that I have given them. And that's the whole thing that I've told Jackie about it, and I've told other people about it, that I don't know, I feel like the internet can be a really toxic place.
Yeah.
And I've focused so much on trying to make my channel and my community the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I've always told these fools I just want this to be a place for us to all hang out and just have a good time. Because what else, why do I already have so much other stress in my life and so much other bullshit that I go through, that why do I want to come on here? The one thing that I actually enjoy, or the one thing that I feel helps me escape from reality, which is gaming. Everybody has their different thing. And for me, it's gaming. As whatever, I've gotten to the point where I don't that's what I'm saying. That's why I started streaming, because I don't care what anybody thinks anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be, and I feel like it's so much more accepted than it used to be back then. It's before it was such a nerdy thing, or oh, you're a gamer. Cool. Yeah, I feel like it's cool to be a gamer now, in a certain aspect. But I still feel to certain people, they see it as oh, you're all you do is sit there and game, or you're a loser. But
they teach it in schools now, though.
Yeah. Oh, I know. The fact that your neighbor, I tripped out. I didn't even know that. When we talked to your neighbor, and the fact that he's he's a teacher, and that's his class, is he just plays video games, they're just teaching him games. But it's because times have changed, and this is a real job now. Yes, this is a real job now. And not, but that's the thing though. That's the thing that people don't understand. The difference that people get is that there's a difference between casual gaming and professional gaming. It's the same thing as the Olympics. You could go to the park to the park every day and go play baseball or soccer with your friends.
Yeah.
But there's a huge difference in the people that are playing in the World Cup. You know what I mean? When it comes to like soccer, like you could go to the park and play soccer with your homies as a casual, just fun time. But then there's a huge difference in the people that are playing in the World Cup, and that's why they get paid the big money.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with games, regardless of how people want to see it or if people don't want to accept it. It's the same thing. There's people who are putting in hours and hours a day trying to get good at a certain game, and then if they make it there, they get paid for it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really, but see, that's where I know I'm not good, like super good at gaming. I do my best to like practice and get better and everything, but that's where I just made my community to where it's like, we're not here to like big dick each other. Like, I'm better than you. I got the bigger dick. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I want it to just be like where we're just all there to have a good time. That's literally all it's about to me. Because like I said, I'm going retract to what I was saying earlier. Like how I just wanted to make a place where we all come through, have a good time. There's no worries about who's better than what or who's better than who. Because at the end of the day, that's my escape from everything.
Yeah.
Why do I want to go back why do I want to make my escape cause me more stress or like whatever? Like, you know what I mean? It's like all that stuff is like stress and anxiety and like always being like, oh my God, I'm not as good as this person or blah, blah.
That's the
like,
good thing about not depending on it or in just doing it casually or for fun. Because I wouldn't call you a casual. I wouldn't say you're doing it casually because you do it every day. But like, if you wanted to and it got to that point where you felt like, like it gave you the ick, you could just stop.
Yeah.
Because you don't depend on it. It's something that makes you happy and it's something that like gives you joy. And I think that's like a big difference.
But even when I get the ick though, the reason why I don't stop is because I see the progression. I see the numbers. And that's the other thing. I talk with one of my cousins, he streams too. Mm-hmm. And me and him be talking all the time, especially about our stuff. Yeah. Like, he's helped me out with a lot of stuff, dude. Shout out to you. And what's crazy is his name is Daniel too.
No way.
Well, that's funny. I don't know if his actual name is Daniel, but it's Danny. But I go by Danny as well. And so my cousin Danny, dude. Shout out to you, Danny. Whether you're watching this or not, bro, shout out to you, man. I love you, my boy, because he's the one that taught me how to do the TikTok thing. Yeah. Remember how I showed you that like I can record my streams and it's all in like TikTok format, so I can upload like faster and like do my shorts and everything. And he's the one that taught me how to do that because he's the one that's been he streams on TikTok. He doesn't stream on YouTube.
Dang, he must have a lot. I think you have to or you must have a decent following then, because I think you have to have a good amount of followers to even stream on TikTok.
He streams on TikTok, so he must. That's where he noticed that he was getting a lot more traction on TikTok than on anything else. So he went to TikTok, and so that's what he does. And he's the one that taught me that. And like me and him are just like always talking like on the back end, or just like always talking about stuff. And it's so funny because I remember, well, me and him both, we're kind of like in the same boat, like where we grew up and like we were like the troublemakers, you know, growing up, and like we smoke a lot, we drink a lot. Or we did, like, hella excessive when we were younger. And now it's funny because he's like, bro, he's like, you want to know what's crazy? Like, he was just telling, we were just talking, like, we were on, like, FaceTime, and because he was teaching me how to do all the stuff. And then, like, at the end of it, like, we were just, like, showing each other our numbers and stuff, like, the analytics, like, on the back end of, like, YouTube. And then, like, he was just like, bro, he's like, you want to know what's crazy? He's like, isn't it funny? He's like, bro, like, we were always like addicted to doing all this other shit. He's like, I'm addicted to the numbers now. And I was like, for real? Like, it's so true, because it's like, I feel like it's so inspiring, or like, what? There's another word for it. I feel like inspiring is not the right word. Motivating. There we go. Yeah. It's very motivating to like see your shit just constantly growing. And that's exactly like I was saying. Shout out to all my people that pull up every single day to my streams. Shout out to everybody who comes and supports me, because you guys are the reason why I continue to do it. They're the reason why I come back every day, or like why even when I'm stressed out or like I don't feel like streaming, why I hop back on stream, because it's like I just know that next stream is just going to continue to push me even more and push the channel even more, and it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing, because I at least, the way I try to look at it is, even if I'm only getting one subscriber a week, the fact that I'm at least getting that one The growth. That's what it's all, especially because the other thing that people like, we talked about on the last one, people want instant gratification. I completely understand that that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 100% in the mindset of like, I know that this is not how the internet works. There's the lucky people. There's the 50%ers, the people who can blow up off of one video just because they did something really funny or really viral. You know what I mean? But I understand that if I don't ever have that moment, it's not just going to happen in one day.
Yeah.
And I'll know if it happens in one day, because I'm going to wake up one day and my shit's going to be all blown up or all crazy. But I know I'm in the mindset where I know that doesn't happen to everybody. So I'm in it for the long run. I'm in it for the longevity of like where I know I have to just keep pushing until I get to where I want to be.
Yeah.
And that's what and that's the thing that people always try to say or try to tell everybody, is that you really can achieve whatever you want. You just have to put your mind to it. You have to be willing, and that's where there's a saying, like, it's like almost like survival of the fittest, or the strongest always come out on top, or like, you know what I mean? Like as in like if you're weak, you're going to quit along the way, because you're going to be like, this isn't worth it. Like, well, I'm only getting 1 subscriber a week or like whatever. But to me, I see that 1 subscriber is that I'm growing. As long as the way I try to look at it is, if I see my numbers going down, then that's when I'm going to be concerned. Like, if people are unsubscribing to me, and people like, say right now I have like 1,000 something. Say if I'm at 1,000 subscribers, and then I hop on one day and I see that I have 980 something, and then I hop on the next day and it's at like 960 something, and it's just like, that's when I would probably more be in the mindset of like maybe this isn't for me, or maybe I should just stop doing this. But if the numbers are just constantly going up, that's where it's just like, why give up? Why give up? It doesn't matter how slow the process is going. The fact that it's going is what matters.
What's crazy, and I kind of want to go back to you talking about numbers, is the TikTok is so different from YouTube. Okay, I have 4 TikTok accounts. One for my family and friends, that it's Spooky Jazz, and I've had this TikTok account forever. Like, I post just whatever comes to my brain on it. Well, I have a true crime TikTok that I just made called Cryptic Curator, and I've been covering like the missing Riley Strain, the kid that's missing from Corpus named Caleb Harris, and this other kid who's missing from Tennessee. I can't remember his age. I want to say in between 12 and 16 maybe, but he's autistic and missing. And so that's like the content I cover on there, and that's blowing up number wise pretty well, because I feel like people are interested in that. But I have this, when I drink, I like to post cringy, like, lip syncing videos, because I used to do drag, and my name used to be Luke Skywinker, and I used to love to just lip sync to music, right? So when I get drunk and I'm just alone in my room bored, I made a separate TikTok that I just post lip syncing videos to, and like everybody does on TikTok. And the reason I brought up the numbers is because this second TikTok, I put no hashtags. I put nothing on there, and each of these videos, this is not a lot of numbers for TikTok, but gets like 800 to 600 views, okay? My old TikTok, Spooky Jazz, that I've had forever, and I actually sometimes put effort into, 200 to 300 views. Yeah. Like, I'm doing the stupidest shit on this other TikTok, cringy shit sometimes, and it blows up so much more, and I'm just like, but I wanted to bring that up because, like, the stability, and we touched on this last time, compared to YouTube and TikTok is just all algorithm. If it catches, it catches. You're going to get traction. If not, you're just kind of fucked. Yeah. YouTube, there's an algorithm there too, but I feel like you have a better chance of kind of catching, you know.
Okay. I want to like kind of rephrase what you're saying. What I feel like it is like with TikTok, with TikTok, I feel like it's less to stick, and with YouTube it does, because with TikTok there's so much content on there, and it's so short form that people are just used to, and so like they see something and they like it, but then it's just kind of like they like it and they laugh, and then they're just like, what's next?
Yeah.
And with YouTube, that's the difference. Is I feel with YouTube, they're trying to find the person like, who can I watch every day or once a week, whatever. You know that there's YouTubers that they only post once a week.
You actually have to put effort into, like, because if you think about it, like you said, TikTok, you're just swiping, so it's automatically coming up. But YouTube, you have to actively press on something, unless you're watching shorts, which is different. So you're like, if you're already halfway in the door. Like if I'm a YouTuber and I see somebody clicked on my video, okay, something I did made them interested in that video,
made them want to click on it.
And I think it's kind of just like selling something. You're selling yourself. You're selling yourself.
I'm
you're
selling my soul.
Your content and stuff. And like, okay, you reevaluate. Okay, what made this person click on this? And okay, we have them here. Oh, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but YouTube will tell you how long somebody stayed on a video, or if like they didn't finish it.
They do. Yeah.
You're like,
dude,
okay,
the YouTube
20 people are leaving at this point in the video. So what did I do right in this beginning part that I didn't do right at the end to make these people leave? You know what I mean? So I think that's a good thing too.
And it could be the same thing with TikTok as well. But I feel like TikTok is so much more short form content that it's not. You know that with YouTube, when you're like the people, like, you know, I don't know, when you first start something, you look up videos or something, you know what I mean? You're just like, how can I, what's the best way to do this or the best way to do that? The one main thing that I have always heard about YouTube is that the first 10 seconds of the video is the most important.
Yeah. Because
that's where people are deciding, do I want to stay here or or am I leaving?
It's like reading a book. You read the first couple pages.
Exactly, that's the craziest analogy, because that is so. Yeah. Dude, you read the first couple sentences of the first chapter. If that shit's trash, you're closing the book.
Yep.
And it's the same way with YouTube. That's the one thing that they always say or like tell you, is that I think it's the first 15 seconds is the most important thing. And that's what I do. I just do, like, it's so funny, but I thought it was so cringe at first, but it's like, I'm so used to it that it's just secondhand nature to me.
Yeah.
I have like an intro to my shit, and it's like, I just do that same thing, but I feel like, that also speaks to people, because they're just kind of like he's like on top of it and like doing the same, you know what I mean? Like the repetitiveness. I feel like when you're only doing it at the beginning is not bad, as if like I was doing the same thing every stream, like all stream long or whatever. But it's like I feel like that repetitiveness in the first 15 seconds helps out a lot, because it's like the whole like dude, and then people just catch on to like little phrases, you know what I mean? Like how we always talk about like dude, it's so funny. Like I've had people from my streams like be like they want me to, it's so crazy. That's what's so crazy to me, is like I've made one thing of merch so far. Yeah. And like these fools would be like, you need to put that on a shirt. Like when I say certain things, or like I'll have like a phrase, and they'll be like, dude, you need to put that on a shirt. You need to put that on a shirt. Like I remember one time my computer was just acting up. And Fortnite, you know what Fortnite is, right? It's a game, obviously. So Fortnite was just being weird. Like I don't know what it was. It wasn't my computer. The Fortnite servers were like down or something. Yeah. But it was letting me click on the game, and then it was loading into the game, and it will be like log in, or like it'll be like log in, and then I log in, I put all my information, and then it would load and load and load, and then it will pop up the login again. And then I remember I just kept saying, it was like I was like, just sign in, bro. Just sign in, bro. Like, and then these fools, that's what I'm saying. Just that little, and these fools were saying that for months. They were like, they would come in my chat, just sign in, bro. Cause I was mad. Like, I remember I was like mad. And like, I was just like what did, like, I was just like all mad and just saying like the stupid ass game. Like it's over here just telling me, just sign in, bro. And you're good. Just sign in, bro. And like, and they were like, dude, you need to put that on a shirt. Like literally just sign in, bro. Yeah. Like, and I swear I want to do it. I feel like I need to, you see, that's the other thing. You're good at like doing like, you could do like designs and shit too, or like graphic design like type of shit.
Yeah, I used to have I made like a whole shirt line at one point. It was called Inked Heart.
Inked Heart.
And it was like it was way when I was younger. I did so much. Like I used to have a photography business. Like I had like a photo booth business. I had like freaking the t-shirt thing. But I will tell you, like, my problem is like, this goes back to the instant gratification thing. I would just always give up too fast because I never, got back in. And I don't want to go back on the tangent because I know we talked a lot about that last time. But like, yeah, so like, even now I'm like trying to think of things because you put the simplest things on shirts and people will buy this stuff. Like, like freaking, like I like me some Morgan Wallen, my country music, and people literally just put his lyrics on there, and the shirts fly off the shelf. Dude, now you have to be careful with that because like copyright and shit. Yeah, but like, it's crazy.
There's a guy who is from LA, and he is like he blew up, and he makes so much money off his clothing brand, and all it is plain plain black shirts with white lettering, and it'll just say just literally random ass stuff. Like, you know how everybody started saying type shit?
Yeah.
He just has a shirt that just says type shit, and it's just like, and people like buying it like crazy. And then another one that there's this guy who made it from him personally, but that's why it's just like literally it's just like remember the FBI shirts, or like how the FBI is just like the big ass bold white lettering that just FBI on a black shirt. But then have you seen the one where it's like where it explains what FBI stands for,
like federal
but it's like supposed to be funny. And it's like, it's just the stupidest shit. But it used to be hella popular back in the day. Yeah. But it was FBI, and then like down the each letter is fat bitches irritate.
Oh, yes, dude, like the acronyms for stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, and he does stuff like that too, like where it's just like he just like, and it's literally just a black shirt with words on it, with white bold letter words. And he's making probably millions of dollars at this point. And people love that. People are eating it up. Like, he literally has a stupid ass one that is literally just says, all my homies have monster cocks. Like, come on now. Like, even he could do something stupid like that and people are buying it. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. Like, we're in such a meme period. And like
that people love that shit.
Yeah, people love that shit. Like, and don't get me, there's some shirts I see that are like, so like, fuck. It's God gives its toughest battles to its strongest soldiers.
Yeah.
And like all the freaking memes about it are so freaking funny. And people put that on shirts, and like, it's just in like, if you're religious, like, I'm not trying to like dog you or nothing like that. Not. Like, to each their own, like, but like, it's just so funny because of the things and the way people twist these on these shirts are just wild. Speaking of like wild stuff, what are you thinking about this whole solar eclipse that's about to happen?
I mean, when is it? The actual date? It's April something, 8th. Right? April 8th. I mean, it's just crazy because how it's been like 10 years or something since it happened or something. I don't know, but I've just heard that it's been a long time, and that it's not going to happen for another 12 years or something. So it must have been 12 years, and I mean, it might happen every 12 years. Don't quote us on anything because I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I don't know. If you want facts, I'm gonna have to search this stuff up before we do the podcast. But it's like, I have no idea how long it's been, but I just know it's been a really long time, and it's gonna happen this one time, and then it's gonna be another really long time before it happens. But I mean,
did you hear about like the warnings that people are getting?
No, I haven't. See, okay, because earlier when we were going to get the beer, she was telling me about like the solar eclipse stuff. So here you go. The floor is all yours, Jazz, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I'm probably gonna miss a couple things here, but like, yeah. So people are getting like warnings from or like alerts from their areas, telling them to stock up on water, stock up on food. Schools getting canceled for some of these places. Like, so this is leading people to come up with a bunch of conspiracy theories. Like the thing that happened in Baltimore with the bridge. I think it was Baltimore. Sorry if it's wrong, but the bridge.
No,
where
it was.
those people. Unfortunately, there's 6 still missing. The construction workers. People are somehow trying to connect that with the
Solar eclipse.
saying like somebody's trying to attack us and stuff. And like,
see, but what is kind of weird to me that I did not know until today when I was scrolling through Instagram was that there was people working on the bridge, or like the construction workers or whatever. Were they working on the bridge, or they just happened to...
I think they were working because one of the videos I watched said they were working on the bridge.
That's what because that's what I kind of got from it, but I just don't know if, who knows, they happened to be in like a truck or something that was on the bridge. But
yeah,
what's crazy to me is like, what are the odds that the day that they're working on it, because like that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the day that they're working on it, that this happens. And like, I'm not trying to say that like, oh, it's like it was planned or whatever, but it's just like, I'm more trying to say is like, dude, life is crazy. Or like just the fact that it's like how these things happen at like certain moments.
Yeah.
And just like, God bless those people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that really, really sucks. And then, yeah, but what's funny is how you're bringing up the conspiracy theories, because I did see something on Instagram where they're like, just the whole fact that they're trying to be like, oh, they were Latin people, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, they were Hispanic people.
Yeah, dude, and people are so ruthless. Like, I see comments sometimes that are talking about, oh, they're probably immigrants and they deserve to. And I'm like, and I'm not trying to like get deep into political stuff, but like, come on, bro, these are human people that by now, I mean, unfortunately, have lost their lives.
I just don't get how people are like that.
Yeah, it's
like how people have those thoughts, or just are so fucking
ruthless.
Yeah, like it is so crazy to me, because it's the same thing with like, yeah, just any other like situation where it doesn't matter if it's Mexican or just any type of immigrant, but it's just like according, I don't know why, but it's just making me think of my homie. But this was always like the white people are the devil. Like this fool always says that shit, and it's just like regardless of what I think of it, it's like I feel like it's kind of true to an extent. Like obviously they're not the devil, but it's like they really do just like talk down on everybody else, no matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
It's like, as long if they're not white, they're gonna say, they have something to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they always got to mention something.
And that's not like, this is the thing. I think as a society, we as people lump people together. So like, just like people are lumping those, I'm gonna go back to the construction worker thing. They're just automatically assuming those people are illegal. That's them lumping us in Hispanic or Mexican, and
so that everybody's crossing the border. Everybody's coming over the border.
People. Like people tend to lump all white people into that same stereotype. And don't get me wrong, like a lot of the times that is true. Those, people, they are like that. Like, but like not everybody is. And once again, I'm not trying to get too political because I feel like I'm kind of teetering that way. But like, I just think that as a society, we need to stop lumping everybody into one.
Well, yeah, but that's with that's the fucked up part, is that that's what I hate the most, is that everybody wants to point fingers and shit and say that like, because like how I like anybody could be like, oh, white people like are so point fingers at these people, but then it's like, we do the same thing kind of to white people. But I just hate that everybody does that to each other. It's just like, dude, everybody is their own person. And
we're
I
all
hate
humans.
Yes, and I just hate though that everybody gets put into under a blanket, like you're saying, like kind of like they're just like, oh, you're Mexican, like you must be fucking illegal, or you must be some, and then we're like, oh, you're white, you must come from money, and you hate every other culture or whatever. You just want to steal from us, because I mean, it's just a sad thing, man. This world, that's the scary part, is that this world is really, anybody could say otherwise, but in my honest opinion, I feel like this world is going to shit.
Oh, for sure.
Like everything is just so weird right now, and like so bad. I mean,
it's all backwards too. Like,
speaking of all this, all the like the bridge thing happening and everything, and then look at the Nickelodeon shit that's going on right now. Like, dude. But what's crazy to me about that is that that's been happening.
Yeah.
And that's the saddest part about that type of thing. And then that's the craziest part too, is that every culture is doing it.
Yeah.
You can't pinpoint that type of shit on anybody. I feel like the abuse of children is like a multicultural thing.
Yeah, like that's for sure. Like
it's all about just
type of thing.
It's just a bad, exactly. And then that's where I'm trying to get back to what we were just talking about, is that it's like you can't put everybody under a like, at least you can't put cultures under a blanket.
Yeah.
We're all humans, and that's the thing that a lot of people can't grasp, is that it's like, if you're just a bad human, you're a bad human.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the fuck the color of your skin is. It does not matter how you look. It does not matter how you talk. It does not matter how you act. It's all about your actions and what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like anybody could be a bad person. Anybody could be a terrible person. It's like, we can't sit there and be like, oh, only white people are abusing our children, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's everybody. This happens in every type of culture. And I just hate that like, it's been happening for so long, but then it comes out every now and then. Like how it's coming out right now.
Or like P. Diddy. Have you?
Yes.
Freaking P. Diddy?
P. Diddy as well. The fact that his house got raided. This fool got raided. He ran away to Africa. This fool's in Africa right now. You know that?
Did you? Okay, so I saw. This is going back to conspiracy theory, I think. I really don't know, because I just passed by and saw it on something. I can't remember what it was. But it was a freaking, what is it called? Mugshot of P. Diddy from apparently when he got arrested. But they're like, that's not P. Diddy. Because P. Diddy has like moles right here or something like that. And they're like pointing out the differences, and I haven't fact checked this, so if it's wrong, just bypass this. But like from the video I saw, they were like, he has moles right here. This guy doesn't have moles right here. And I mean, after doing a before and after, like a side by side profile, the guy didn't. He looked like P. Diddy, but he didn't look like P. Diddy.
But see, when you're rich, this fool probably really found just his doppelganger, found somebody that looked like him, take
care of your family,
and was like, yo, I got millions of dollars for you. Just go handle this shit for me. Because he's like, I ain't about to go in jail and about to be doing all this stuff.
Crazy,
like,
bro.
It's just crazy. And like you're saying, it's just the fact that all these different... I just hate that. I really, really, really hate that this world focuses on, like... I guess things come out at certain times, but I feel like everybody's just quiet about a lot of shit. Because, dude, before this Nickelodeon, this is happening every day somewhere. Some kid is getting taken advantage of, whether it's their parents not being in their life, or their parents not being enough in their life, or like not caring about them or whatever. There is always an adult that is willing to take advantage of a younger kid, of a young person, because they know they're grown and they know how the world works already, and they know
what's shitty too. Like recently, because you brought up the parent thing, right? Like not taking care of their kids. This, I want to say her name was Madison or Maddie or something with an M. I could be wrong about the name. I'll plug it in somewhere on the screen. But this girl, her mom had a boyfriend. It was like a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago. She went missing. They found her. It turns out the boyfriend ends up killing her because he's been sexually abusing her.
And she was gonna snitch on him or something finally.
What I think, and what happens a lot in these situations, I have a psychology minor, okay? So I don't know everything about psychology, but I did take a family class, so I'm not saying I know everything. But a lot of times in these situations, the mom, if they're a certain way, they will see their daughter as a threat. So sometimes they'll be like,
that's the craziest type of relationship, because I've heard of that type of shit before, where they feel like the boyfriend is getting attracted to the daughter or whatever, so they don't see it as like, ill. You're the gross one. They more see it, and then they start to hate the daughter.
Yes.
They're like bitch, fuck. Like it's almost like if they're like homegirls or something,
Like,
instead
why
of
are you
being
trying to
mom.
take my
Yeah, why are you
husband?
trying to take my man from
Oh
me?
my
Type shit, and
God,
it's just like that's the most ridiculous shit, and that's where it's like, dude, that lady got something going on as well, because like there's no way you should be thinking like that. Instead, you should be like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? I need to leave him and protect my fucking daughter.
Yeah.
But instead, they're like no, this is my man. Like why are you trying to, that is the craziest thing. And it's funny that you bring that up, because Jackie had told me about some stuff the other day,
Yeah.
or like last week or something, or like a couple weeks ago, about a store, like I don't know, it was a viral thing too, where they found the body of a girl, and it ended up being that the parents, so it was a family, a mom, a dad, and the daughter.
Yeah.
And I don't know how young the daughter was, don't quote me on anything, I don't know the names or anything, but and then they had an RV in the back where a guy lived, and it was the dude's. You know this story,
yes,
then.
I do.
And the dad was, they were close with the guy
He
or
was a
something.
convicted felon for the same thing, for sexually harassing. And this dad, you know what the family came out and said? Sorry, I hate to hijack it.
No,
But,
go for it. You're the one that
family came out and
knows.
said, like, we try to see the best in people. Like, are you kidding me? You
And
know
they let this
guy.
dude live in their backyard or
Yes,
whatever
dude.
in an RV, and then he ends up snatching up the girl, the daughter, doing whatever the hell he wanted to do with her, and then killed her and got rid of her body. And then for the longest, they didn't even know it was him.
Nope.
Like they couldn't. It was one of those unsolved mysteries where they didn't know what was going on, and then they end up finding out that it's a dude living in their backyard that literally, like she said, see, I didn't even know that, but like she said, that already had a conviction of sexual assault, and went and snatched up their daughter, did his thing with her, and killed her and got rid of her in a body of water too, right, or something.
Yeah,
or
it
like
was a body of water. And I will fact check this. Okay, so I'm sure we're getting a lot of things wrong. I feel like me especially, I'll try and put some stuff on the screen because I don't want to be like putting false information out there. But if we're wrong, I'll put something up. I just want to disclaim that. But yeah, so like it was crazy because I don't think it took him that long. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before they found him. Because he was arrested, I think, pretty fast.
But all I know is that they were saying that they weren't even thinking it was him.
Yeah.
They were like, cause of obviously how you're saying, like the parents were like, oh, we try to see the best in people. They were like oblivious that it could have been him. Like they were just like brushing him off as like,
Yeah.
there's no way it's him. And then it ends up being that it's the fool that they trusted and let live in their own backyard. And that's the craziest thing to me, is like that's where it's sad to me though, is like that there's so much trust in people, or like where it's just like that's the fucked up part, is that we really can't trust people these days though. That's where it really like.
So here's the thing. If you're like a family member of mine and somebody comes to me in any capacity, my kid especially, or even a family member, I don't care who you are, and you tell me that this person in our family made you feel uncomfortable or anything like that, I'm not going to bring you around that person ever again. So the fact that this family felt it was okay to bring in this person around their daughter, or his daughter, I think it was the dad. I don't remember if the mom lived there or not. And he had a conviction for something to do, I want to say it had to do with a minor in like sexual something. But like the fact that he had that, and the dad was still like, okay, yeah, I'm going to bring them around. Like, why would you do that? Like, you really have to not care to do that. Like, it's just horrible. And even if you're my best friend, or if you're like, I don't care, like my I'm gonna use this as an example, my brother would never do this, but if my brother, like my daughter, my cousin, anybody came up to me and said, hey, your brother did blah blah blah, you know what I mean, I don't care if you're my brother. I'm going to
Make sure that the other person's not uncomfortable.
exactly
Or
like you don't do that, like,
and it's vice versa. Like even if your brother was to be like,
yeah,
like, yo, some it's like you're gonna do the same thing for him.
Yeah.
And it's just like more of like doing the right thing, not just picking sides, or like being like, oh, I like you more. But it's like if you hear something from somebody, you're gonna want to take their side, you know what I mean? Or like you're gonna want to be there for them, and like, but then that's
but some parents Sorry.
No,
I'm just
no,
like,
go
I
for
love
it.
true crime and stuff like this. So like I have a lot of like.
Well, it's a good thing I brought this up then.
Yeah, because like
I'm telling you, Jackie's the one that was telling me about it. I was like, dude, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, that's so messed up.
yeah, dude, it really was messed up. Because like I feel like in the past month there's been so much crap happening. But I just saw this video on this kid. I'm so bad with names. We were not prepared for this little segment here, but so I'll try and put up names and stuff after post. But this kid.
This one's
That
good. Tropical Twist. I don't know how you didn't like that.
No, I liked it. It wasn't.
You gave a face though.
I'm not a big pineapple person. I think that's why. Well,
It's good.
We're on a
That's
little
my first
break.
time trying it. That's
Let me
good.
go ahead and try this citrus crush.
That's the one. Yeah, that one's all right. It's not that great either.
No, that's a bad aftertaste.
The berry one is the best
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
berry one is
the berry one. They covered the aftertaste, so it's very good actually.
Yeah, for sure. But there's this kid, right? So what happens is he's autistic. His mom and his dad. Apparently, he has a car. Like he's autistic, but he's like functioning like higher, or I don't know if it's lower. I guess on maybe. Do you know? I'm not sure of the difference of like what's higher and lower.
I
but
have
he's
no
more
idea.
functioning. So like he could be more independent.
Uh huh.
He went to high school like normally. Well, his car ends up getting stuck in like this river where he lives. And he has to call his parents in a tow truck and the police to come help him get it out. Well, when they start pulling the truck out, or the car out, the cops are like, why is there blood on the back of the car? And he's like, oh, I must have cut myself when I was trying to get out of the car. Or something like that. Well, it turns out he killed a homeless man.
The autistic kid?
Yes.
Damn.
And this has nothing to do with him being autistic.
No, yeah.
But I just want to put that out there because like that was like a big thing that was said about it. And he like ends up killing him, freaking like decapitating him and like cutting him up. So the day after, the dad finds the wallet of this homeless man in his son's car. And he calls it into the police. He's like, hey, I just found this wallet. I don't remember if he said it in his son's car, but he calls it in, and it turns out that this shop owner sees this homeless man all the time. Like she gives him money for beer. So she called in too because he's been missing. She's like, hey, I haven't seen him. He comes in every day, and I'm a little worried about him. And just so happened that same day, the dad called in about the wallet. And then this was the day after they found the car. So they go to the mom's like, the mom feels a little iffy about it. And this is what I like about this mom. She goes to check his room. She finds a head in his room. Human head. In
The
bags.
homeless guys?
Yes.
Where did he have it?
I think in his closet.
Not even refrigerated?
No.
Come on, man. You don't you don't know the most like basic rules? Like you got to keep that in a freezer or
I
something.
think he panicked. Like, because he didn't plan to get his car stuck in. I think his original plan
was to go like
throw
hide the
in the
hide the
water.
stuff or whatever, yeah.
And what happened was his car got stuck, so he couldn't get rid of it. So by the time they,
But in that whole, okay, I'm just being like the optimistic
Yeah.
or like the other side. I would never do this. I would not. I've never done. I never even. I can't say I haven't heard a fly because of course I've heard a fly before, but I would never do this. But just in the, what do they say when it's like you got to be the
like mediator or like the
not the mediator, but like just the other side of it or whatever. It's just like, bro, he could have been through all that shit while he was waiting, like or whatever. Like,
but like we've talked about this before too. Like these days, I think me and Jackie actually talked about this. Like these days, there's so many true crime shows out there that people are getting so good at
figuring out
how to do stuff because they're watching this and learning. Like
that's the scary part. That's so scary.
Because true crime is so readily available to us these days that we're like, okay, they got caught by this. Write that down. Like, or you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like there are people out there doing that, like studying these true crime documentaries, studying this to figure out how to get away with this stuff. And this kid kind of like kept journals talking about, he was searching how to get rid of a body, how to clean blood off like crazy stuff. And like, you're going to like, I don't want to be like a,
that's the main way to get caught.
Yeah.
Is by Googling shit.
But his friends also came out and said, like we knew he was going to do something, but we thought it was going to be like a mass shooting or something. We didn't think it was going to be like a person. It's like, what?
And they didn't say nothing. That's the craziest part, is that like people don't speak up.
Yeah.
Even when they know somebody's gonna do something.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. And then that's the whole thing with dude, with every mass shooting or everything like that, it's like they had friends.
Yeah.
Somebody knew that it was gonna happen.
Well, he
and
ends
then
up
they don't
getting
say
caught
nothing.
and taken to the police station. Of course, after his mom, because his mom, this is why I said I really commend this mom. She called it in. The poor girl was hysteric. Like, I mean, you find out your kid's a killer, like, you're going to be hysteric. But
of course.
Some parents will willingly help their kid hide that shit. Like the couple in San Antonio, the poor girl was pregnant. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go off in a different one. I'll go back to the other story, but I just kind of want to point this out. It was the guy and the girl. She was pregnant. They found her. The mom, or the stepmom, the dad, and him. I think they're all in cahoots, and they helped hide it. They're all in jail now. Those are horrible parents, because why would you help your kid hide stuff? But this mom was so good. She called it in. She runs a daycare in the house. So this head was in her son's room while
she has a bunch of kids in the house.
She called the parent. She's like, hey, come get your kids. I have a family emergency. Then she calls the cops. They come out, and the kid's getting home, and she's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I think she's a little scared. I would be too. And the cops show up, and the cops come up to me, and they're like, hey, what would your mom have found in your room? And he's like, probably like a human head and hands. And we're like, you're just looking at, like, as a viewer, you're looking at it like, what?
Like, damn.
He's so openly saying it. And I think
but it's just that
happy to, like, explain it, because a lot of killers are like, yeah, I want to. They love that.
They want like what was his name? That dude who Richard. You know? Yes. Like how he was openly like willing to admit it, and he wanted to get the fame from it.
Like, yeah, that's me. Yeah. So they take this kid back to the police station. First of all, they made a lot of fuss about it because they didn't put this kid in handcuffs. They didn't do anything like they would normally do. It's like, why is this kid not in handcuffs? You just found a head and body parts in the thing.
But it's I think the fact that he's autistic or whatever. It's like that they kind of just like. I feel like
he's very high functioning. Like, he was talking. He seems completely like fine.
But still, I think that if you're autistic, they because I feel like when you're autistic, you just speak, you just say. You say what's on your mind. Yeah. Like they're not afraid to say what's on their mind. You know what I mean? Like,
I think a lot of times some autistic people hyper focus on things. Yeah. And he just hyper focused on murder. And his mom thought that he was just searching how to be like a criminal defense person or like a criminal, like justice person, and he was really searching on how to
do it. Yeah. Like how to be able to do it.
So he gets back to the police station. And he is so happy to tell the police everything, how he stalked, how he'd go drive out every night trying and thinking about murdering people. But he even Googled how to suppress murderous thoughts, like crazy stuff. Like he's in the police office. He's literally spelling, like, this is probably the opposite. What is it? An attorney's like the dream, because he's telling them everything to put him away. And he's like drawing pictures, drawing where he found him, drawing where he killed him, drawing all this stuff. And like, I'm just like, dude, he just looks so happy to do it. Like, and it's just crazy.
But that's the thing, is because their brain is wired differently. Yeah. To what, like you're saying, hyper focus. So it's like whatever they're doing, they're like in it. They're like 100% in it. You know what I mean?
I almost want to say, like, I don't think it had anything to do with his autism. I think he was just
a murderer. Yeah. Like, and that's the crazy part, is that people really have that in them. Yeah. Like, there's some people, and that's where it all goes back to like regardless what religion or whatever, people are animalistic. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, regardless if you want to have some type of religion aspect on it, scientifically, it's like we're animalistic. Yeah. Everybody is. Like, it doesn't matter what type of human you are, everybody has an animalistic instinct in them to like, whether it's like just being protective of people. Cause like, I know, dude, if anybody were to do or put any hands on Jackie, like I've told her before too, I'm like you are lucky that nobody's ever tried something with you, because if they were, I would know I would snap. Like I would fucking snap if like somebody even touched her in a weird ass way, like as in like, but the animalistic instinct that people have to like just do whatever is on their mind or whatever in the moment is just the craziest thing to me, because people are so just like animalistic to that point where they're just gonna act on their actions. Like it does not matter what it is that's going on or what's going through their mind or whatever. If they want to do something, somebody's gonna do it. It all just depends on the certain person, but everybody has that in them to like just react the way that they're gonna react in the moment. And the fact that people do that is really, 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 really scary. I do not know. There's no way to control it either. And that's what's the scariest part, is because people are going to do what the hell they want to do in those moments. And like this kid, he did what he wanted to do. And after he did it, he was just so happy to tell everybody how he did it. I don't really know nothing about it. She's the one that knows it. But from what she's saying is that he was happy to do it. So I just know that it's crazy to me that people are like so willing to do something and then just, especially even to admit to it. But I just know, regardless if people are going to admit to it or not, they're going to do what they want to do, especially in the moment, especially because in the moment, things are different. When you have time to think about it and everything, that's when you have like the conscious to be like, nah, this isn't right. I shouldn't be doing this. But when it's actually happening, there's no way to stop that. It's always going to happen no matter what. And when they do it, that's when it happens. And boom, the cops took him in. The cops questioned him, and he was able to admit every single thing that was going on with him. And it's just crazy, because that's just not like we're trying to say. It's not just an autistic thing. It's like that's everybody. Everybody is willing to do whatever they got to do in that moment. So if it's whether it's killing somebody, abusing somebody, doing some shit, they're gonna do it, and then they're gonna try to hide it. But obviously this dude didn't try to hide it. He was like obviously trying, like just willing to admit it and everything. But there's always that person who is willing to do it and then just admit to it. Like where if people do it, they're gonna do it. There's no way of stopping them. They're gonna do it. And whether they want to admit it or not, how you were saying that kid admitted everything, people with more of a level head, they're gonna try to hide it. They're gonna do it, and then they're gonna be like no, like they're gonna try to hide, like say some excuses or be like no, that like this happened and this happened and blah blah blah. So
yeah,
it's just it's a crazy thing, like the animalistic instinct in all of us. I know it's something like if I was somewhere, like say like how when we've gone to the bar or something,
yeah,
and like like if I were to go to the bathroom and then I come back and I see somebody like pressing Jackie or like doing some weird shit, it's like, dude, I'm gonna snap. I know I will. And it's just an animalistic instinct in me, because it's just like what the hell especially when it comes to somebody you love, it's just like what the hell are you doing? Like why what are you doing to my girl? Like I'm gonna be the one like to press the issue and stuff like that. So yeah, all I was saying is just the animalistic instinct of like how people are gonna do whatever the hell they want to do and I was just explaining how it's always in the moment too, because it's like it's different if like you have time to think about it, but in the moment people are willing to do whatever the fuck when it's in the living moment of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that also goes back, I think, to like some people, like there's a thing in us that like, we've all had bad thoughts, not like anything murder wise, but we have a thing in us that just keeps us from doing anything, like the intrusive thoughts that come in your brain sometimes. We have things in us to stop us from doing the intrusive thoughts. They're just intrusive thoughts. But these people sometimes don't have that, and they just keep going and doing those things. And that's the difference between some people and murderers and psychopaths and those psychopaths don't possess that. Those murderers or serial killers don't possess the thing that stops normal people from doing things like that. It's something missing in their brain. And like this kid even brought up like Ed Kemper and like other killers and like the ideation. Is that the right ideation?
Yeah. Ideology.
Something. Yeah, that,
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Ideology, I think.
Of like, almost like these are like those serial killers are like superheroes to these guys, and this kid like that's what that was. It was just crazy, man. I saw it. I watched. It was like I think a 2-hour video I watched on this kid, and I'm like, holy moly, man! It's just. And his friends, like I think he went and confessed to his friend and her boyfriend, and they thought that he was joking.
Yeah.
So they didn't.
They didn't say nothing.
Yeah, it's like what? That's just crazy to me. Just
yeah,
wild.
but at the same time, I can understand that, especially. That's what I'm saying. His friends probably don't know how autistic he is, so they just know he's autistic. So it's like, I feel like when they were telling him that, they're probably that's why they probably think like oh, he's just like in some fantasy world. Yeah. Like he's not really doing that. But at the same time, it's like you got to tell like at least if they weren't going to tell the cops, they should at least have told his parents.
But I think he left his friend's house because he was away at his friend's house when the mom found the head.
Okay.
So I think he was at this friend's house actively
telling them while she found it out or whatever.
And that's when they came and arrested him. So I don't think they really had time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just crazy to me. It was the craziest thing I'd seen in a while. I was like, what the heck?
And I'm sorry to go off on a different tangent or whatever, but I feel like we kind of summed up that story anyway. Yeah. But then it's crazy how like you said something about a pregnant girl, right?
Yes.
So the one thing like that trips me out is like I've seen at least like 3 different stories, and this was like back in the day though. Like I don't think it's happened anytime recently, but like I remember always seeing videos. What about the video? Like, dude, the ones that trip me out is like the ladies that cut babies out of people. I've heard at least like 3 stories of that before, and I remember because there was a point where I used to listen. Same thing, like a bunch of like true crime stuff, but like I remember I used to love, like I don't know why. It's just one of those things where like because it's more like I want to hear real shit instead of like hearing like some what not is it fiction that's fake, right?
Yeah.
Like instead of hearing like some fiction story about like some shit like that, it's like I was at a certain point I was interested in hearing. I remember I would literally YouTube and this was before when like I feel like YouTube doesn't allow that stuff as much anymore, or like they kind of do, but it's like in a different aspect. But I feel like before there was a lot of stuff on YouTube like a lot of the 911 calls, and I feel like they still do that. But I used to love listening to real 911 calls.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing a couple of like 911 calls where it's like a lady calling, and she's like, there's one, it was from Craigslist. Okay, so I'm going to go into the story of like, because I remember the story vividly. Like I remember it, and I'm not even lying to you. I remember listening to this like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. And it's about a lady who answered an ad on Craigslist for baby stuff. It was like a ad for free stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, when you're having a baby or whatever, money can be tight. It could be hard to come across these things. And this lady found an ad on Craigslist of some lady offering all kinds of baby stuff. Like she's like, oh yeah, like you come to my house and you could pick up like all this stuff. Like I've had a baby before and like we don't have no use for this stuff anymore. Yeah. Come pick it up. The girl goes over. I don't know the names or nothing. I can't remember because like I said, I heard this story like 5 years ago, but it's at the top of my head just because like you're bringing up the pregnant thing. And so it's this pregnant lady that answers an ad on Craigslist about like all this free stuff that she could get, like a I don't know, just like the bassinet and like just the what's the thing that they actually sleep in? I forget what it's called.
Crib?
A crib, yes, the crib, bassinet, like baby clothes, diapers, all this stuff, and it's just like a whole list on like it's on a Craigslist ad. You know what I mean? She calls the person, the lady's like, "Oh yeah, come over," and then the girl goes, and it's just the lady at the house. It's the pregnant girl. She goes by herself, not with her husband or anything. She goes by herself. The lady tells her, "Oh yeah, everything's in the basement." The lady leads her down to the basement, and she just clocks her in the back of the head with some shit. And then she wakes up and she's just bleeding and like her stomach's basically just like wide open or like cut open, and she's bleeding. She's still in the basement. That's the craziest thing. The lady just left her, because who knows? That's the other thing, is like, I don't know if in that story, maybe it wasn't even that lady's house. Maybe it was just like an abandoned house that's being for sale or something. And she left her in the house, and she thinks that the lady's dead, but she wakes up and she calls 911. And that's what I'm saying. It's the actual 911 call. And you could tell that this lady is like dying or something, because like she's like barely able to speak, and she's like telling the operator like someone just cut my baby out of my stomach, like blah blah blah. And then the cops show up and they find the lady, and she's like absolutely just out of it and just like basically dying. They take her, and then they end up finding the lady who has her baby, and literally cut the baby out of her stomach just because. And that's the crazy that. See, goes back on the animalistic instincts. It happens to so be that this lady can't have kids, and she wanted a kid so bad that, and who knows, maybe she didn't have the money to do a surrogate or whatever, and she took the route of literally stealing someone else's baby, but like not even off of like oh, I'm gonna steal it once it's already born. It's like she cut the baby out of this lady's stomach and took the baby. And then what trips me out more of that is like, could the baby even survive? Like,
I think if they're far enough along.
Far enough along, of course. But it's just like, how did she know? Like, maybe she got to know the lady or something. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's been so long that I don't remember how the whole story went. But all I know is I remember the phone call, and I remember like the cops going to her and everything. And like, so all I know is that they found her all cut up. They ended up finding the lady who took the baby, and correct me if I'm wrong or anything, but I think the other lady died. The one that was actually pregnant, because because it's like, what? It's not a actual surgical. Yeah. She's just cutting the lady open and just taking the baby, and it's like, so those stories are so crazy to me, and then that just like even gives me a fear, because like my girl's pregnant right now. But it's just like, of course, I'm not gonna I wouldn't, it's like, if she were to like want to go get some shit from, it's like, I'm gonna go with her. That's the difference of like in that story. It's like that lady went by herself. She was by herself, went and just like thought that this lady was innocent. And then you just, back to how I was saying, you really can't trust nobody. That's the scary part. And that's where, even from our first episode where I was telling you that it's like, dude, it takes a lot to trust somebody, and the fact that we are able to trust you and your family, and like the fact that like that's why we've become so close, because it's like we're just like I don't know, we're just normal regular people that it's like, and we've hung out with you guys multiple times, we've hung out with your family multiple times, and we've never gotten no red flags, you know what I mean? And it's like that's where that's the sad part of living in this world right now. We're in 2024. It's like we've already heard and seen so much stuff that it's like it's hard to trust people. And the fact that you guys were so willing to accept us into your guys' life, and vice versa, we were like able to accept you guys in our life, and it's a beautiful thing, but it can go the wrong way. Like it really can go the wrong way, and that's the scary part about life. But that's just with anything. It doesn't have to be with this subject. It could be with anything. Like I could trust you guys, and that's what I'm saying. Same thing how you were saying earlier. You're not trying to accuse your brother or anything, or like even you of anything. But it's like you guys could have came over here and like stole some shit from us. Yeah. And then it's like at that point I would be like, yeah, we're not inviting them over anymore. But it's like we've had you guys over multiple times. You guys have had us over multiple times, and we haven't had no problems or altercations. So it's like at that point where it's just like we know who you guys are, and we trust you guys. But it's just crazy how there's people who are willing to just like, they'll take advantage of that trust. Like there's even people who will get in your life and be in your life for a while and then still betray you later on, just because they know like, oh, they trust us.
Have you seen Saltburn? Did you ever watch it?
I seen that. And
Oh my
what's so
God.
funny? What's so funny is that it's my homie Roberto. He's a dude that I work with, and he tuned into like the first podcast, and he was like telling me, he's like, oh shit, I didn't know you started a podcast or like whatever. And I was like, yeah, dude, because he knows I stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I started a podcast with my homegirl, and it's just so funny because he's the one that put me on the Saltburn, and I'm not. It's what's so funny is that Jackie was like, I think this fool's trying to send some signals or something, because like, you know how Saltburn went,
Yeah.
you know, he's like, and it was just so funny because I remember telling him that, and he was just laughing so hard because it's just like she was just like, I think he he's trying to send you some signal, because Saltburn was like the whole thing. It's funny because when I brought it up to him, he was trying to argue it or whatever, but it's like Saltburn is like really like this, because the whole thing he was trying to argue was that the fool wasn't gay. Or like whatever.
Well,
and it's like I understand that I think
he was definitely bi, for sure.
And that's what I was trying to tell him. I was like, bro, but he was like, no, this fool was arguing with me, trying to say, no, he's just addicted to power. He's just addicted to power. But it's just like, bro, if you're the main point that I tried to, bro, this fool fucked the grave. He fucked the dude's grave. There's no way that he wasn't into that fool. He's like, he didn't like that fool. He wasn't into him. He was just addicted to power.
That wasn't a part of the script. So
he did that.
It was like he told everybody on set to leave because he wanted to do something, and he did it. Like, it was crazy. But the whole point of that movie, I think, was, in my opinion, him seeing an opportunity.
And taking advantage of all of it,
yeah,
right?
Because at the end, even with the mom, like, he got so deep ingrained with the mom.
He was taking advantage of all of them.
Yeah.
For sure. But but still, no matter all of that, you have to be he was into that dude. There was no doubt. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's where Jackie was like, I think he's trying to send you some signals.
That dude's come out of the fucking...
Dude, that's that's what I was fucking saying. I was like, bro, you ain't slurping no nut out of the bathtub if you're not gay. He's like, bro, he's not. He's like, he was just addicted to power and blah blah. I was like, bro,
power, you don't have to do that.
Dude, that's what I'm fucking saying.
No, for sure. I got
you. If you're just addicted to power, you're not slurping no nut out of the bathtub,
or what
bro.
he did to the cousin, or the cousin.
Dude, and that's what I was saying. But
like,
see, again, he was like, he's just addicted to power. Like, he just wanted to be a dude. He went to that fool's bed, jerked him off, and bought, like, bro, come on,
that's
dude.
Not power. That's
like,
you got something out of that, bro. Like,
he enjoyed that. He definitely enjoyed that. Like, come on. He was so addicted to that guy. Like, regardless of what.
Infatuated, for sure.
He was infatuated with that guy. He loved that guy. There's no doubt about it. And that's what I was trying to tell him. Like, bro, there's no way he was not in love with that guy if he fucked his grave. How do you fuck some dirt? I know it's just a movie, but it's like, come on. If you're fucking some dirt, you're into the dude.
Yeah.
He missed him and loved him so much after he died. And he's the one that killed him, right? He killed all of them. So it's like, he's the one, even though he's the one that killed him, that's the whole fact of crazy people. It's like, yeah, he killed him, but he still loved him at the same time. So it's like, even though he loved him and he killed him, why do you think he fucked the grave? Because he was like, fuck, he's gone. He's like, let me do one last thing. One last thing
when he was alive.
Exactly.
I think that was his end game was to
just
be with that guy and have the money.
And have the money at the same time, yeah. But he knew he couldn't because the dude didn't want him.
Yeah.
The dude was just a regular dude that
found him out. He fucked up, yeah. He saying his dad was dead, or like his family was dead, or dad was dead. His mom was like addicted to drugs and stuff.
And they took him in like nothing. And he took advantage of all that. Like, and it's just crazy that he really did take advantage of every single one of them. Because then there was even the scene with the sister. He did some shit with the sister, but that's what a professional manipulator does.
Yeah.
They are able to manipulate every single one of them and make them think that he's just there for them. And that's where that's where that whole movie was going. It was like he was going to each and every one of them, making them seem that he's there for them, or like that he's into them. And that's what he did with the he was doing that with the main guy he wanted, but realized he didn't want him. So then he went to the cousin, he went to the sister, he went to the mom, killed the main dude, or like the actual son, and then was still manipulating every single one of them.
Yeah, but I feel like a big reason he killed the main dude too was because he got found out, and he was like, okay, if I'm gonna continue on this path,
Yeah,
I need to get rid of him.
Yeah,
but like
because he was gonna snitch him out, or he was gonna be able to.
There's a real life story like that too. It's called. There's a show. It's called A Family Friend, where they're part of this like church, and this dude comes in. He's just like, the family start being friends. Well, the dad starts like, and the mom. This guy from this other family is seducing the dad and the mom at the same time.
Oh, we watched that. It was on Netflix, right?
I think it was on, Netflix probably.
No, and then he
I think, but
we watched it. I know for sure because he
wanted the kid,
but he was like, he fucked the dad.
Yes.
He did.
The mom.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yes. I know which one you're talking about.
The kid and tried to manipulate the kid into thinking like the whole family was gonna die, and he like took her off in an RV, freaking played this audio, making it think like they had to procreate or else the world was gonna end or something like that. It was so sad. Like, it's a sad story, but like that's another case of that. Like him just manipulating everybody to get what he wants.
Mm-hmm. That's just there's people who are literally professional manipulators. Like, that's all they want to do is just make everybody think that they're on your side, or like that he's on their side, but then he's doing something to every single one of them. And that's the thing.
Fucking calculation you have to go through. Like, you have to be crazy to be able to calculate that much. Because, like, that's just wild. Like, I can't even fathom being able to manipulate like that. Like, and I guess that's why we're not like that. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
Because we can't put ourselves in those shoes. But it was just like, how do you even come up with this stuff? Like, it's just fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's fucked up because it's like, obviously, even like those movies, they all stem from something real. Mm-hmm. And that's what's the craziest part. And then that goes back to backtracking again. I feel like that's a good thing with podcasts, though. It's like, I've always heard that that's a good thing with podcasts. We've
definitely backtracked a bunch. We've covered so much shit this episode.
Like, but that's always a good thing. Is to like, when you're bringing up something and it correlates to something you're bringing up earlier. I hear that that's a good thing with when you're podcasting, is that it's like, these fools are just willing to do whatever. And that's just the difference between me, you, and somebody who's like that, is because they are willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want.
Yeah.
And they don't care what stands in their way. They have a solution for it because they're so crazy that they think of everything that can get in their way. And then they're willing to, like, just fucking do whatever it takes to get to it. And it's just like, it's so sad that this world is like that, because there's so much of that happening. And back to the Nickelodeon stuff.
Oh, fuck yeah.
How the Nickelodeon stuff, that stuff, just Hollywood in general, that has all been happening since the dawn of time. And that's the worst part about the higher ups and people who are rich. They're really almost able to do whatever they want. I mean, look at what's the dude that I don't know why I'm blanking out on it, but the fool who Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was so rich and able to do whatever. The fact that he had his own island.
Did you see the thing, speaking of Epstein, about how even Stephen Hawking went to his island?
Yeah. And that fool, I feel like, and that's the fucked up part, because like, you can't really, because he's dead. Yeah. So you can't really speak on like what he was doing. But it's like, and at least in my thoughts or whatever, it's just like the fact that I feel like he was even more into it, because he's like, nobody could really accuse me of shit. Like, I can't really like speak for myself or nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, so he's kind of like I feel like he was in the mindset of like, oh, I could go here and ain't nobody gonna think twice, because like, I can't. Yeah. Like, I can't. He's in a fucking chair that like he has to press buttons to speak and shit.
So
and
I just saw this video of this guy. So there's this guy on, I don't know if it's YouTube, TikTok, but I saw it on TikTok. He tries to track down pedophiles, and he'll meet
like
up
message people as like an underage girl or something. Okay.
So he messaged this guy who was in a wheelchair. He was like, paraplegic, I guess is what it's called. I'm sorry if that's wrong, but yeah, so he goes to the house and he's like confronting this dude in a wheelchair. He's like, "You were trying to meet up with this underage boy." And this dude, he's a part of this big company. I want to say Pinterest, I think, but it may have been a different company. But he goes to this guy's house. The police show up, and he's like, "What am I gonna do? I'm in a wheelchair." And it's like, you can't use that excuse, bro. Like,
see, that's what I'm saying. They, it's like, as fucked up as it sounds, is they think they could get away with whatever just because their condition or whatever. It's like they feel like oh, I can't like fend for myself, or I can. So it's like you have to give me some consideration or whatever.
This
you know what I mean?
Sounds stupid. And I hate that I'm bringing up this comparison, but you know, like Scrappy Doo in the Scooby Doo movie, where he was like tiny and like he was like, I feel like people thought like he was like, I'm little, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's that same kind of analogy, like where he's so small that people don't think he's gonna do anything. But he like was the worst person ever.
Yeah, he was the worst one. And then even in the second one, he becomes like he even gets like he becomes a big ass monster because he's like he finds it's like I think that it's the second one, or is it the first movie?
It's the first one.
It's the first, like, but it's the first real action movie. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, and where they go to like this island, and then he finds some. It's because he finds some lady to do like witchcraft or like some black magic on him, and he becomes like some big old monster, and and then he's finally able to do what he wants to do. But it's like all because they're small or lesser than us doesn't mean they have those thoughts in their mind.
That can correlate to like people can be just people, but once you have money, that's the witch lady, that's the monster giving you the power to do what you want and be able to cover it up and do it. And that's like I'm saying, back to the Nickelodeon stuff, is like I'm not trying to say or even like put that off, but I'm just saying it's like this has been happening forever, and this has always happened. Even when like a big thing that I've been seeing a lot lately is like porn stars coming out and saying that they were like kind of like manipulated into doing like whatever, or like even convinced into like, even though they didn't really want to do it, like there was somebody manipulating them and like telling them. And then of course it comes to the money. They're like, we're gonna give you this money and you're gonna do, and they didn't really want to do it, but they did it. They did it because of the money or whatever. And like and then money is truly power, unfortunately. Like there's a lot of things that money can solve, but like
but it's only for a moment. That's the fucked up part, and that's what I hate about
money comes and goes.
And that's what I hate about this world, is that money runs everything. Yeah. It really does. And it sucks that it does, because it's like you give the power to whoever has money. Yep. And once you give the power, once your thought process is like that like money runs shit and you need money to like survive or whatever, it's like you're willing to do stuff for that money. When it comes to like, and I know I'm going off a tangent right here, but it's like there's even been a lot like, and it's just so weird because there's a lot of porn stars that are dying right now. I don't know if you've seen that, or like if there's these two specifically, Emily Willis and Sophia is Leon or something like that. They both recently, Sophia's dead. Yeah. They found her dead in her apartment. 26 years old.
Oh my god.
And and what's crazy is the cops ruled it as like unusual. They ruled it as an unusual death, and they're investigating it more. The other girl, she's in a coma, but her was from an overdose. So hers, they don't see nothing weird with it or anything. But hers,
overdoses sometimes too can be
just because all the shit they're dealing with or whatever.
Sometimes these people are forced to do drugs sometimes. Like to, you know what I mean? Like,
but I wouldn't even say forced. Sometimes they do it because they're in this so deep already, but they don't like what they're doing. And they just start, they're just like, they want to get away from all this shit. And this, like, so they're fucking doing a bunch of drugs. And so one of them, She's in the hospital right now, critical condition. Emily Willis, she's in critical condition. They found her OD'd in her apartment. Critical condition. She hasn't woken up yet, and this has already been like a month or two that they found her, and she's still in critical condition. The other girl, they found her dead already. They just found her dead in her apartment. And like I said, they didn't say if it was an overdose or anything. They said it's an unusual death, and they're investigating it. But what's so crazy to me is that it's like that whole side of it too, regardless if it's illegal or not.
Yeah.
Regardless if they're of age or not, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
There's definitely something going on there because these girls, like, it doesn't matter if they're rich and they're in the party scene. It's like if you're making that much money, you don't want to fuck up your life like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole nother reason why they're doing this shit. You know what I mean? Because, like, I know if I were to come up on $1 million within a week or something, or like a couple of weeks, a month, I wouldn't like, I love my life. You know what I mean? It's like, I wouldn't sit there and be just like, oh, I'm going to start, all because I have money, I'm going to fucking do a bunch of drugs it's like, I feel like all that stems from something.
Yeah.
If you're not in the right mindset, if you're not feeling okay, if you feel like your life is not where you want it to be, that's when you start doing drugs.
Yeah.
Is because you want to get away from the reality. And that's why I'm so glad that I was able to change my aspect to like gaming and stuff like that and streaming, because it's like, I used to be like that.
Yeah.
I definitely did. I was like, we've never really talked about it, but dude, we can get into this in another podcast, but it's like, I used to be bad, like, off of shit. That's why I got Little Peep tatted on me. Yeah. That's why I got it, because I was like bad and like deep into fucking drugs, because like, I guess I can say like, I 100% at a certain point hated my life.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy. And what's the one thing to escape when it's fucked up, but it's like, when you're not happy, the one only thing that makes you happy is like escaping reality.
Yeah.
And the one and only way I was able to escape reality was by doing fucking drugs and like by doing shit, and like, just because when you do some hard ass drugs, that shit really, like, you don't feel like you're in your body anymore. Like, you don't feel like you're in this realm anymore. You feel like you're in a whole nother, and it gets you feeling like on top of the world for those hours that you're on the drug.
I feel like it's the same thing with drinking though, because like,
well, that's the fucked up part about this world, is that this shit is legal, but it does the same shit for you. And that, why do you think there's so many alcoholics in the world and shit?
Exactly what you're saying though is like, okay, like, I'm gonna kind of put myself out there right now, because I don't feel happy with my life. Like, I don't. Like, I have a degree. I had a job where I was doing coding. I was working for the company I was working for, I'm not going to say the name, but we made software for CarMax. We made software, like banking software. Like, I was programming hardcore software. Okay. And I left that job because this is my first job out of college. I graduated May 2020, 2022, I think. It wasn't very long ago, maybe like 2 years ago. And I got this job right out of college, and I was always told, like, oh, it's so hard to get a job right out of college. I had no internships. I had no portfolio. This job just hired me, which it was kind of a red flag for me, because I left the interview and they told me like 10 minutes, like probably 20 minutes on my drive home, I got a call from them saying, oh, you're hired. And I'm like, what? And I failed this coding interview. This is my first coding interview ever. I didn't fail it in a sense that I didn't fail it in a sense that I couldn't do what they were telling me. Like, I could explain it verbally, but I was not used to, they wanted me to write everything down, and I've only ever done it on an actual computer. So like, I just failed it in the way that like I couldn't communicate it via paper. Mm-hmm. But I still got the job, and I was like, hell yeah. I was making, I think, almost $70,000. Okay. And I quit that job because it just made me unhappy. Like, I had to go in the office every day. Ooh, I don't know if you could hear my neck pop.
I heard that. I heard that.
Probably picked it up. But that's what I'm saying. It stresses me out. But no, like, I got the job, I learned it. I did my job. But I just wasn't happy there because it wasn't what I wanted to do. Like, it was a back-end developer position. I wanted to be a front-end developer because I like making things visually happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I quit. And I do kind of regret it because of the money I was making. Not because I was happy there, but the money I was making.
But see, that is exactly where the fucked up part is of like where you'll be willing to do something just because of money.
Yeah.
And see, that's where there's people that are stronger than that and know that, like you, that were like, there's just some people who know it doesn't matter how much money I'm making. If I'm not happy here, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, why am I here?
But now I still feel unhappy because I miss that money. I do. I miss that money because like I'm making $42,000 right now. And that's a big pay cut.
That is.
I was bringing home $3,000 something a paycheck. Now I have $1,300 a paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's like, God, it hurts. At first I was happy because this job gives me a lot of freedom. Like I told you, like I can do like my jobs. They're so lax. It's a small company and I'm not necessarily doing, I think it's more internal. Like I feel internally unhappy with myself. I feel like I'm wasting my degree because I'm not doing what I was doing before. No heavy coding, and I'm good at my job. Like, I really am. And that's like not a brag, but like it's true. Like, I'm just good at it, and they don't want me to leave. But I've asked my job. I told my boss, like I was like, look, I need more money. Like, and it won't get me to where I was before because this company is just small and they won't pay as much. Mm-hmm. But I told her a number, and it's been about 2 months and nothing's happened.
Nothing, yeah.
And I told her like I'm gonna start looking for the jobs. But then I go out and look for other jobs, and the job market's so shit right now that's like I'm stuck.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to do these other avenues of like making content, doing all this stuff to try and, because I truly would love to just make content like anyone would. You would. We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. And that's my goal.
I mean, I feel like when you're into like creating stuff, that's the dream.
Yeah.
And that's the dream. And a lot of people don't get that because a lot of people aren't like, that's what when I told you, like, even in the last podcast, that like I was scared to do it, or I was scared to even start this shit because a lot of people don't get it. Mm-hmm. They don't understand. They're not into the YouTube stuff, or they're not into like, they want to work a normal 9 to 5, or they want to work a regular, like they just see that as normal, and they see what, like, if you're doing something else, like it's stupid, like it's a waste of time or whatever. And like, that's where I was always scared to hop into this avenue of stuff. But when I was saying that if you just stick to it and you really just grind it out, this whole like content creation thing is not, like I said, you have to be lucky if it's going to happen overnight. Yeah. And you have to realize that it's like, you have to grind for this. Yeah. It's not something that is going to happen overnight. It's not, you're not a, what are the people that like do buildings and stuff like, you're not an architect.
Yeah.
You're not going to get paid right off of making a building or designing a building or whatever. You're not going to get paid right away. You have to be, with this content shit, you have to be willing to just put in the hours and sacrifice the time to just build your craft, because if people love you for who you are, they're going to attract to you. And that's where, like, I've noticed that, like, with my shit, it's like, like I said, I've created this community, and I've created my YouTube page to where these fools love being there, because I'm not making it a toxic environment. I'm not making it a place where you're coming here to talk shit on each other or like just be mean to each other. It's like everybody that comes to my streams, they're all so happy to be there, and just we're all enjoying each other's company. Yeah. And that's where it's like, I feel like I curated my audience to be that way, and the people that are coming into my streams, they all realize that, and they're all coming there for that reason. And eventually it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow, because there's a lot of people in the world that think like us. They don't think as like, I'm just here for the trolls and here for the drama and like whatever. It's like, these fools are coming here because they realize that I'm here every day streaming for them and giving them a place to come and feel accepted.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people want that. I feel like that's one thing that everybody wants in this life, is just to feel accepted, just to feel a place where they feel like they can be themselves and ain't nobody gonna judge them. And that's the one thing that I've always strived to make my channel, is just to, because that's all I want, is I want people to come here and enjoy what I'm doing, because I'm just being myself. And I just want them to come and see me being myself. And guess what? It's crazy how, like, I never thought I would inspire people. I told you on the last one, I got people DMing me all the time and people commenting on my stuff all the time. Like, how did you get here? And it's because I'm just being myself. I'm just making a place where everybody wants to be. I don't want to make a space where people feel where people feel that they're gonna get harmed or they're gonna be judged for who they are or whatever. It's like, no, my whole channel is based off of, like, you guys could come here and we're all gonna just have a good ass time. We're all just gonna enjoy each other's company. We're all human beings at the end of the day. And that's how I really, really, really wanted to curate a place like that, because I feel like there's not a lot of places like that on YouTube. And that's the scary part. Yeah. And that's the sad part, is that
you have to be one way or the other. Like, I feel like, sorry.
No.
But, like, I feel like you definitely, like, because there's some places you go and you, like, feel like you have to choose a side. And I think this all comes back to politics, which we're not going to get into, but, like, it really is that way, like, where you feel like you have to pick a side. We're always having to pick sides. And some places you want to go and escape and not have to just pick sides, you know?
Yep. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. But that's why I feel like I've grown into the person to realize that there's so much stuff going on in this life that you have to really take your life and do what you believe is right with it, or what you think is right with it. You want another one?
Is there a berry? Can I get a berry? Thank you, sir.
Of course. But yes, you just gotta, like, really just do what you believe is right and what you want, because it's like, you only get one chance at this.
Yeah.
You only get one life. And I feel like you have to just strive to be what you want to see in the world. And that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to bring positivity to my platform. I'm trying to bring positivity to this world, because there's just so much effed up stuff in this world that I'm just so sick of it. It's like, I see it everywhere. You go on Instagram, you go on YouTube, you go on anything, and it's just nothing but drama, news stories about something that's going on that's bad. And it's just like, there's so much messed up stuff in this world that I really wanted to create a space where it's like, you could get away from all that, because that's what I'm trying to get away from. And that's the thing. It's like, this world is just throwing so much nasty and bad stuff in your face that it's like, I really wanted to steer away from that.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody does. Because that's where all the money's at, though. Yeah. That's the fucked up part.
TikTok is a good part of, like, because a lot of people, like, were hesitant to get on TikTok at first. They were like, oh, like, even my brother, like, he was like, I will never do on TikTok. That's just so cringe, blah, blah, blah. But, like, TikTok is such a, like, platform where we're able to speak our voices and put things out that mainstream media doesn't want you to see, or, like, you know, like, and that's what the TikTok ban that they just had passed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I haven't checked into that lately, but, like, I think that's a big reason why they're wanting to ban it, because they can't manipulate us the way they used to, because now we have access to people from other worlds. Like the whole Ukraine war, when that first happened, we were seeing videos of soldiers live on the field, and
people dying and all this stuff.
They don't like that we're being able to not be manipulated by that media.
Yeah, to where they're gonna, like, hide all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like they're afraid that people just have the access to be able to expose everything and just put it out there on the front line and everything. And just, I was gonna say, I mean, we've been going 2 hours already, so I swear. Well, like I said, we could just end this here, because we are being going 2 hours. Okay. But that's the blessing of what we got going on, is that we're able to That's what I'm saying. The conversations just flow. The conversations just flow. And it's like, regardless if we needed maybe the drinks helped or whatever, but all I'm saying is that it's like, that's the blessing. And that's why I wanted to do a podcast with you. Cause I know, look at this. I feel like we could talk for a whole nother hour.
Oh yeah. Like I was ready to go.
Oh, I know. I know you were. I know you were. And I know I could too.
We need like a clock there that says like, hey, you've been talking.
Well, I see it right there. I could see it. I could see it. It's already been going for like 2 hours. So you want to end this or what?
Yeah, we'll end it.
Yeah. All right. Well, alrighty then, everybody. That was episode 2.
Yeah.
It was never a phase podcast. Episode 2 knocked it out. Easy. That's what I'm saying. That's why we started this, because we have conversations like no tomorrow, man. She's a talker, I'm a talker.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't even realize we were talking for 2 hours. That's just crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of it, though. That's why I feel like why we even talked about this is why I feel like we were meant to do a podcast together, because I've seen other shit where it seems like they struggle having an hour conversation.
Yeah.
Like some of these fools have only hour episodes and they struggle having those hour conversations, having the topics, but it's like we're able to just bounce off of each other, and that's the beauty of it. And
I want to touch on our schedule for a second, just to so we are busy people. Like his girlfriend is pregnant, and I work and I have a lot of other things going on too. So like we haven't set down a schedule yet of when we're going to post or anything. So we're going to kind of probably for the first couple episodes or for a while be just sporadic. And a lot of times we may not even be in person. We're probably just going to do it like computer to computer if we can. If we can't be in person, ultimately we want to be in person.
Yeah.
But we're going to do what we can.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And so I just want to touch on that. Like, we don't know when the next episode will be. Hopefully, sooner than later. But we're trying to put it out because we like doing it, and it just brings us joy.
I mean, the conversations are just natural.
Yeah.
We're able to just keep going and go. Like I said, we could go for a whole nother hour if we wanted to, but it's just, time is tight.
Yeah.
Life is life. Yeah. We got shit going on, so it's like it is what it is. But hey, man, it was never a phase podcast number 2 episode. We did it, baby. We did it.
Congrats. Oh.
Hell yeah. Oh, my bad. Congrats. Yeah, we did it. I mean, this is what it's all about, man. I mean, this is just the start of our podcast. So it's like, obviously, the quality is going to get better. It's only going to get better from here. This is just the start. The first episode was literally a practice run. This is just like trying to really dial in what we messed up on the first time, so we kind of dialed in, and like I said, it's only going to be up from here, because that's the whole point of these first couple of episodes, is to really learn what we're doing wrong or what we need to fix. So it's like we're here round 2, and we're gonna be ready for round 3 very soon. So
yippers,
shout out to you, Jazz, the homegirl Jazz, half of the it was never a phase podcast. Zerk, aka Daniel, never a phase podcast, man, and we out of here. Shout out to y'all. Love you guys.
Bye.